Hi everybody. Where is, well, that's not going to help. Here it is. Make a splash. So, no, nobody's on here yet. Just give it just 1 minute to see if anybody else hops on. But I have the winner of the Make a Splash from my YouTube live a little while back. And I want to tell you just one little tip that my friend and I stumbled across when I was delivering the May card kit to her the other day. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So, Make a Splash was a prize that I said, oh, that's not Make a Splash, it's not it. I'm sorry, wrong one. Best Catch was a prize I was drawing for the other day. And I drew a winner, and the winner is Jean Maxwell. So Jean Maxwell, if you're watching, please send me your address, your mailing address. Make sure you include your zip code to rachthestamper@gmail.com, or you can send me a private message on Facebook if you want, but email is usually a little bit easier, and I will send this out to you. Hopefully you'll have it in time to be able to make some Father's Day cards with. So thank you for joining me today. Let's see if anybody is typing. So what I wanted to show you was, we have, today is the last day for, thank you, happy Tuesday to you guys too. Today is the last day for the catalog. It ends today. So tomorrow we'll be able to order from the brand new catalog. If you don't have a demonstrator or you don't have a catalog, if you are a customer of mine, you should be getting one. I did mail one out the other day, but you should be getting one. So if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send you one. You just have to send me your full mailing address, include your zip code as well, please. So I'm super excited. Tomorrow we can share the insides and everything. And tomorrow I want to show you on Facebook Live, so not YouTube. I have been fooling around with one of the new embossing folders. So you guys get a little sneaky peek here. So this is the Old World embossing folder. So we're going to do something. I just put a whole bunch of different scraps. These are all foil. This, by the way, is retiring. So if you have to get this, this is the black foil. It's retiring today. So that's if you're watching in the US. In the European demonstratorship, they've already started ordering. So I know it's really cool. I even did it, and it's kind of hard to see on here, but I did it. You can see it on the back, but you can see it up close when you look at it with some glimmer paper. It's kind of neat. Kind of gives it like something, little something extra. So here's a couple pieces, and I did some of them. So I did the reverse side. So this one is embossed, and this one is debossed. So it's kind of cool. I just laid them different directions when I put them in the folder. But anyway, I think we're going to play with that tomorrow. So kind of fun. So a tip that I came across, let me put these on the side so I don't lose them. A tip that I came across with my friend Christine. I was delivering her May card kit. So I have a bunch of people around here that we usually do a monthly club. So I did a monthly kit. And what I've been doing is designing all the stuff, and the kit is purchasable. Also, you can just get the PDF and video option. So if you do that, you go to my blog, Rachthestamper.com, and you'll see monthly kit. I did one for April, which was Mother's Day women theme, and then the May one was Father's Day men theme. So it wasn't really all Father's Day, and it wasn't all Mother's Day. There was one of each in there. So you could use them for anything. But when I dropped these off, we were talking about stamp sets, and she said, I have this one stamp set that no matter what I do, I cannot get it to stick to the block. I put it on there and it falls off, and it ruined one of my projects. And I said, I bet you were talking about having a clear mount stamp set. And she said, do you think so? And I said, I do, only because the cling mounts, there's no way they would lose their sticky. They're so sticky. So we got to talking, and I was talking about how when you have these extra sheets, so this one was from a background stamp, so there's really only this long piece here on the side, you can see. And I'll show you another one. So this one here, it has all the dies cut out, or the stamps cut out that we already used, but you have a lot of this stuff left over. Now, I have done this video before. Actually, it's the top video. If you come to my YouTube page, you'll see it, and it's probably one of my most popular videos. But I will say, when you do this, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get this part off in order to be able to stick it onto your stamp. So we were chatting, and I came up with a solution. Now, one thing I'm always trying to do is save time, make mistakes so you don't have to, and save money. And they are going to be coming out with these sheets in the catalog. However, if we have all this leftover stuff, You really don't need them, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to, let me move this stuff over. You're going to need a couple tools if you do this. Hopefully, maybe Linda, this will make it a little bit easier for you, because I am always looking to make things simpler, and sometimes my simple doesn't turn out quite as well as I think it did. But anyway, what you need are some sort of an X-Acto knife. I got this pack. This was like a 3-pack I got on Amazon. Came with all 3 blades, and they're nice because they retract, so you don't have to worry about anybody hurting themselves when they're sitting out. You are going to need a self-healing mat, or some sort of a mat that you can cut on that is not going to get damaged. It's not really, more so just for backup purposes. It's not, you're not going to cut quite that far, but you want a little bit of something for backup. And then you just need some stamps. So I thought we would use this one. This is a stamp set that's retiring. This was one of my favorites. I don't have her up here right now, but I made a Moana card out of this, which is amazing. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully I have my stickers in here. Yes. And here is my Moana mask. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do is we're going to mount these with the stickers, and then we're going to put the stuff on it. So I really hope this helps you guys, because I did this today as a practice, and then I dropped some of these off to my friend, and I told her I hadn't done them yet, but I did do a tester and it worked. So I'm going to flip you guys down. So if you get a little disoriented when the movement stops, right now look away and I'll tell you when to look back. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for sharing all the places you shared. I appreciate it. And you are all locked in there now. So if you want to look, you will see what we're talking about. And again, just in case Jean missed it, Jean Maxwell was the winner of the, what was it called? Best Catch. So turn this way. This is a self-healing mat. I just usually put my Easy Clean mat on top of it because it's plaid, or not plaid, it's gridded, and sometimes it can be a little confusing to people with looking at that, or so people say, so I don't know. We could certainly use this. But basically, here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take 2 of these stamps. I'm going to take the girl. So I'm just going to show you 2 just for demonstrative purposes. And then I'm going to just pull the rest of these out, because when we're finished, I will just do the rest of them as well. Okay. So generally, these, you can see, I just kind of stopped mounting them because none of them stuck. And it really made it quite difficult. So I just thought, I just won't put the stickers on, and I'll kind of eyeball where my stuff is supposed to go. I will tell you one thing, though, that these little sheets, if you don't mount them right away, they do get a little bit wiggly warped. So just kind of keep that in mind. See if that lines up there. So I have the backing off of my stamp, because obviously this is how I used it. I took the back off of that, and I'm going to line her up best I can, just like so, which is pretty good. So she's on there pretty well. So we'll just peel these. Hi, Tina. Hope you're well. So this is hopefully going to just be a little bit of a recycling, since you'll already have some of this, time saver. And then if you run out of it, like, I don't know, I don't think I'd ever run out of it, because I have so many new stamp sets that I just use all these extra pieces. But this should make it easier to put them on. So I'll pop this here. So again, this is the old cling, which didn't really cling to anything. So more so it's now just for the purposes of you seeing what's on the back of the stamp. So we're just putting the original cling stickers on, and then I'll show you the part that I thought of. And I don't know, I could have not been the first person to think about this, but we were talking about this the other day, and it was kind of funny. We were brainstorming, and we came up with this very clever solution. Okay, so now all of my stamps have stickers on the back of them. Right, so normally, here's the thing. Don't need that anymore. So here's the thing. If you had her and she was in this, you would do the same thing. You put that on there, you get your cling sticker, right? But we have all this extra outline piece. So what I thought, to make it easier to lift basically the label, is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to just run cuts. And I probably could have done this way, since you would want it maybe to be long, but it's okay. It's going to work no matter what way you do it. So I'm just going to put some slits in. And basically all this is doing is kind of giving you a little split tab, right? So then you have all these strips where if you bend it, you can lift this paper off of it easier than we could do before when we had to kind of wrangle in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snips, and I'm not going to completely cut it. So I'm just cutting off this piece. And then I'm going to lift off this little part I made here. I didn't cut that one all the way to the end. But I'm going to lift this off. So that's the backing. And that one's not long enough, of course. Yeah, that one's not either. And we'll put this here. Come on. Don't make me look like a fool. Oh, you know why? Because I forgot. I didn't go down quite far enough. There is the one thing I forgot to do. Hold on one sec. Let me just pull this through because I just realized I didn't go down quite far enough. So what you want to do is you're going to pull that off. And then this is going to come off. This one must be stuck underneath. I somehow must have missed that little piece when I put that on there. We'll do another one. No worries. But basically, what I'm trying to get at here, so you can see it is I'm making a split so you can actually pull this off better. And I'm hoping that part is the part that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one more time. So with this one right here, so I'm going to say we'll follow this here. Because you want to just kind of get through. You don't really necessarily have to cut all the way through this bottom part. But I'm going to trim this up again. Pull this little piece off. So that would be the release paper. This one's a little bit smaller. Put this here. And it should come off. Now I might not have cut down quite far enough. There we go. So it should come right off. This one was another split I messed. But essentially, so what I'm showing you is now you've made this into a cling stamp with just little bits of this going through, okay? So let me go little one here. I think this might be too big for any of the ones I have here. Okay. So I'm going to go through right on this spot here. Now, typically when I do this, I don't usually cut all these slices in it. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I've done it. So that is both sides of the paper. And you really just want the one. So I'm going to peel away the release paper. And when I did it on this one, I kind of got a little slice crazy. But it kind of helps because what it does is it creates that little slit. Like if you had this big one, it would have a split down the middle so you could pull it off really easily. And what we're doing is we're just making that by cutting these little slices in it. So I hope that what I'm trying to say is making sense to you. And this one didn't come off because I forgot to pull that little piece off, but flip that back. So then we have this piece that has, so you're really not putting much effort onto this at all, and it's picking it up. And now we have cling that's stuck to it. But the awesome part is you're able to get this part off a little bit easier, which for me, that was the part that was becoming hard. Because what I did originally was I would take this and then I would try to separate the two pieces. And it does work. It's still a great option, but it just made it a little bit more work than it needed to be. So what I figured is if we put this little slit in here where we would pull, and let me just go ahead in here and snip this part so it's going to have an ending space. So then if you pull this off, did it pull it? No, that pulled the whole one. I pulled from the wrong side. Pull this ending space off. There you go. And you will have this little slit. Now, one thing that it does look like you have to do is you want to make sure that you cut through the entire piece. Because if you're just cutting through the top layer, it's not cutting like we normally would with the bottom. So I'll show you what I mean. We'll do this up at the top on a whole different thing. But same thing again, it did stick just with that little piece because you don't really need very much. So that does work. So let me go back here. So this is a spot on this side that hasn't been cut at all. It's completely solid still. So what I'll do is, what do we still have? We have this one, and this one. We have these three. So I'm going to put a slit and I'm going to go down. So I'm trying to make sure I cut through all the layers. Now I probably won't, oh, it did actually go to the back on this one. So it went almost all the way to the back, which is fine. No problem with that whatsoever. But what it's going to do is it's going to give you a split part where you should be able to have on this one. I'm going to cut lightly on this one. A little split piece here where you can just lift that release paper off. Ooh, that one didn't work. It does take practice, I will say that, no matter what, when you're doing it, because you don't want to cut too much. So what you could do, let's try it this way, is, and I'm going to try to go for a part that doesn't have writing on it, is we'll cut a little bit for our first one. And we'll pull away our release paper. And then you could pop back in with your X-Acto or whatever it may be and stick this on, and it should pop right off as long as you disconnected it properly, which looks like I didn't cut it down quite as far as I thought I did. Well, this is, it is a good idea, but I think I'm going to have to probably work at it a little bit more, but it still only has a little bit on there. Work on it a little bit more just to perfect it. But I thought it would be a nice idea to at least share that if you do have something of an X-Acto knife, you might be able to make it just a little bit easier. So we will be selling the strips of these if you want. Now those, I'm assuming, are probably going to cut or come cut all pre-cut up. And then they would probably have the tabs in the middle of them. So that should be helpful. But personally, I like to try to use what I have. If I have something here. Let's see. Look, I took myself right back to where I started from anyway, but see if we can put this one on here. Here's another one that's kind of small. That should fit on there pretty well. And then that one popped off because I did actually cut through both parts. Now, if you ever have any piece that's overhanging, like these little teeny piece right here, you can always go and trim it. You don't really have to because it is going to stick pretty well. So once you put that cling on, it's going to stick nicely, and if a little piece of it hangs off, it's really no big deal. So thank you guys for stopping in today and checking this out. I appreciate it. And again, if you're friends with Jean, make sure you let her know that she won the Best Catch stamp set. If you haven't already, I'm going to yak for one more minute because I'm going to put this one on, and I'm going to leave time for you to leave a comment. That way I can draw for another winner. You have a much better choice at this point, chance I should say at this point, of winning something on YouTube because there are a lot less people that watch me live. And there are a lot less people that actually leave comments. So if you haven't already, make sure you leave a comment. So I'm going to put, I split this one on this side. And then what I'm going to do is I tend to kind of hold it with the X-Acto and then I'll pull over here. Whew. That one came apart. That was because that was at the end. But so this is my pretty large flap here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip her over and put that on the center as I pull it out. So then she has a nice strip down the center that will hold her on. So pretty simple way to reuse some of your stuff that's lying around. So you will need, again, this is a self-healing mat. This is a very, very old mat that I have, a 12 by 12 mat, so you can cut on it without hurting anything. You really don't go all the way through to the bottom, but just in case you do, it's always a nice idea to protect your work surface. Always a good idea too that if you got some stuff and you figure out another way to use it, save yourself some money, and that way you can buy some other fun stuff instead. And if you guys have any questions, you can, as always, shoot me an email, leave me a comment here. I know I am so excited to order tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we can't order until 12 o'clock Mountain Time, which I think I'm always thinking it's 2 hours later, but it's only 1 hour past us. So I think that's 1 p.m. here on the East Coast. So I'm super duper duper excited about that. So I don't know what you guys are going to order first, but I have a humongous list of things, not to mention my DSP and ribbon share that I'm going to pre-order for that as well. So I'm really excited to do that. You got an order for today still? That's funny, Amy. I put an order in just yesterday, and I'm going to put an order in again tomorrow as well. So yes, lots of stamping fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, by the way, Amy, your card kit, since you're watching and you mentioned it, your card kit is in the mail. I'm hoping it should be there by Thursday. I'll say Friday at the very latest, but it is coming in the mail, so hopefully you look forward to that, and all the videos and all are already sent to you. If you would like to be part of my next monthly club, all you have to do is pay attention. I do put something on the blog when I set up for the next month. So I think next month we're going to do something a little bit different. So I did April was Mother's Day Women, May was Father's Day June. So I think maybe next month we'll do like birthdays or that kind of thing. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. I haven't gotten my paper pumpkin yet either, so I don't know. I think they're a little bit slow. I think everything is a little bit slow with shipping in the mail and everything, so I'm trying to give it a little bit of leeway, but I know sometimes when you're waiting, it's really, really hard. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope to see all of you tomorrow on my Facebook Live, which is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already, give you one more second. Make sure you leave a comment, and I will enter you in a drawing, and we'll give away some fun stuff. Maybe I can give away something new. So we'll have to wait a little bit to get your prize because we don't know what it is, but I'll give away something new for this drawing today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Have a great one.